Go.
Going live in 5, 4.
Streaming live in front of a studio audience from the Juneau Live Studio at Resurrection Lutheran Church in beautiful downtown Juneau, Alaska, this is Whole. And here's your host, Kristen.
Hi, and welcome to Whole. I'm Kristen Mabry. This is our show about all things in the Juneau community related to mind, body, yoga, meditation, wellness, and we're so glad to have you here today. So we're deep into the holiday season, and I thought it would be interesting today to talk just a little bit about exploring gift ideas for people in your life that you may want to offer some of these things to. So we are lucky to have lots of studios and gyms in Juneau that offer these kinds of services and benefits. So if you're thinking about a stocking stuffer or a last minute gift for somebody, buying a punch card for classes, for example, at one of the yoga studios in town would be a really great gift and a great way for somebody to try out some yoga classes or meditation classes. Also, you can buy a 1 or 2 or 3 month membership for someone at a gym or a facility where they can try out classes as well. Right now in Juneau, there are a lot of things happening. There are classes happening virtually, which means you can stay at home. You can wear your pajamas and nobody knows because you're not on camera. So you can just be at home and you have a laptop or your phone and you can dial into the yoga studio via software such like we're using today. And you can actually participate synchronously with other people that are doing the same thing. And so that's a great option for folks who are at home and they're not able to get out and about, or maybe the weather's so bad you don't want to get out and about. So you can still participate and have a live teacher, a teacher that lives here in Juneau and teaches here in Juneau. So look for virtual classes if you're interested in that kind of a possibility. And then some people are teaching in person. Some folks are teaching with masks. Some are teaching without masks, depending on the facility and your comfort level there. So there's lots of options and ways you can participate in these kinds of activities. Now, where would you go? Where do you get this kind of thing? Well, we're super excited to have so many great providers in Juneau, and there are several yoga studios, and we're going to put links on the website for the show so you can go check them out. I'd like to suggest that you check out the Yoga Path with Jody. There's also Rainforest Yoga downtown. There's the Raven Yoga Shala downtown with Stephanie. There's my business, Mountainside Wellness. You're welcome to check that out as well. And then all the gyms and places that you know in town as well. So support these local businesses. They've really been struggling the past couple of years, and we want to keep these businesses in town. It's really important to give them some support, so they'd appreciate that. So, maybe you're thinking about a gift for someone else, or maybe you want to try it out yourself, right? Maybe you plant that seed, hey, I'd love to have a punch card for classes. So hopefully that's helpful for you to think about some really meaningful gifts that you can pass out this holiday season. And so then I thought today, how about for you? What's going on for you this holiday season? It can be a time that can be really stressful for folks, and there's a lot of expectation. There's a lot of heaviness surrounding some of the things that we do in the season. So I thought maybe we'd try just a few quick things that don't require a lot of props, it doesn't require a lot of preparation or effort or knowledge, and is available to just about everybody. So I thought we'd try just a few things today that maybe you can have in your back pocket to pull out when you need something in a stressful moment during the holiday season. So I'm gonna go on over and we'll do a few quick practices today. All right, so the first one is just going to be a little bit of mind in the mind-body equation. So you're welcome to sit or stand. And this practice is really simple, and it's called stop. That's how simple it is. It's called stop, S-T-O-P. So let's imagine that you're out doing holiday shopping, or you're running late, or you're, for whatever reason, stressed about something. It's 4 steps, S-T-O-P, all right? Is that simple enough you could understand? Remember, stop? All right, so imagine yourself for just a moment in a scenario where you're feeling a little bit of stress. The S stands for just slow down. If you have the luxury of taking a moment, just slow down. Maybe you can actually stop and sit. Maybe you just take a moment. So just give yourself a moment to pause. T stands for take a breath. So let's take a slow, deep breath. And maybe that felt so good you want to take a couple more. Lots of magical things happen in the body when we take a slow, deep breath, including nervous system regulation, mental relaxation, all kinds of wonderful things. So taking a deep breath. Let's take one more. So that you feel it in your belly, you feel it in your side ribs, you feel it in your chest. And slowly release. And then what happens is we've created a space, right? So we slow down or stop, we take a breath. The O is observe. So now that we've created this space, now after taking a breath, we can observe, how am I feeling? What am I noticing? Am I worked up about this or that? And what's going on? Am I actually just hungry or thirsty? How long has it been since I had a meal? How long has it been since I just stopped to take a deep breath, or maybe been outside to take a walk and realized the beautiful winter wonderland that's outside? So just take a moment to observe. What am I feeling? What am I noticing? And then the P of stop is proceed. So we've taken a short little break. We've breathed a little bit. We've observed what's happening. And then we can proceed mindfully with intention and purposefulness about what's next. So I took a moment, I took a breath, I observed how I was feeling, and now I get to decide, how do I want to show up in whatever activity is next? How am I entering into this space? Do I want to be a light and a motivational influence? Do I need help? Do I need to seek out someone that is going to advise me, something I could do? Or am I just going to be quiet and maybe stay to myself for a few more moments? So stop, S-T-O-P. Pausing, taking a breath, observing, and then proceeding. All right, so that's our first gem for today. Our second gem for today will be just a little bit of breath and movement, 2 easy things. So let's imagine maybe you have, a little bit longer than a stop practice. Maybe you have a couple minutes. So let's stand up, or you can do these seated as well. We tend to spend a lot of our life seated, so I like to encourage folks to stand when possible. All right, so we're going to do 2 movements, super simple, and they're both just inhale, exhale. All right, so if you remember that sensation when we were breathing in, we're going to take a nice deep breath in. And on the exhale, we're going to start to push up and out, and that's our exhale. So nice deep inhale. And then hands go up and out on the exhale. And the next couple times you exhale, keep going with your own perfect pace. Let's imagine just letting go of whatever it is that you might be holding onto or causing stress on that exhale. Deep breath in. Exhale, release. You can even say, ah, or maybe you're a volcano and it's psh, right, or whatever you need. Let's do 2 more. Inhale. And just let it go. Release. And of course, you can do anything here that works better for you to bend your elbows a little bit to make it a smaller movement. You can stay seated, any of those things. All right, and then let's just shake that out a little bit. So that's anytime you need to sort of just let something go. And you can either do it with a breath technique and movement, or you might snap at somebody later, right? So this is a nice, healthy way to take care of any stress you're holding on to. And then this next breath and movement technique is one that maybe you want to get a little bit more centered. Maybe this one is more about focusing in the moment or just sort of quieting and dialing in. So this time we'll take a breath and reach out. And then on the exhale, we'll let the hands slowly come down. Maybe even bend your knees a little bit and sink into it. Let's inhale, reach up. Exhale, sinking down slowly. Always moving and breathing at your own perfect pace. So you might go slower than I'm going, or maybe even a little faster. And just see what it feels like to exhale and sink into the moment. Let's do 2 more breath cycles. Just see what that feels like. Finding your own little space. Creating an intentional shift by using your breath in a simple, easy, focused movement. All right. And then just coming back into standing, and feel free to shake that out a little bit too. All right, so 2 easy breath techniques, right? Let it go, and then bring it in and ground. So anytime you need either one of those sensations, those are really super easy to do and help you create a shift in real time. Okay, and then my last little gem for you today, maybe you have a little bit longer for this one. Maybe you have your 5 minutes and you're gonna treat yourself, right? All you need for this one is a chair, and it can be a sofa, it could be a kitchen chair, it can literally be anything that you have, even a footstool or your coffee table, anything that you have that's a little bit higher than the floor. So I'm just gonna turn this chair to the side so you can see what I'm doing. Now, this movement does assume that you can get down into the floor. So if that's not the case for you today where you are, you can also just have another chair in front of you. And for instance, if I'm seated and I'm not able to get down to the floor, just leaning over and have my hands in the seat of another chair, if that's an option that you need today. But assuming you can get down to the floor, let's just try this really quick because it feels so nice. All right, so I'm gonna face the chair and come down to the floor safely. So just having my hands in the seat of the chair, bringing one knee down and then the other. That's really the safest way to come down to the floor. Then I'm gonna take my hips over to the side, and I'm gonna scoot as close to the chair as I can. So I'm bringing my hips really close to the chair, and I'm gonna lie down and take my feet up in the seat of the chair. So this is perhaps contraindicated if you're pregnant or if you have untreated high blood pressure. I would just say seated in the chair for today. Otherwise, this is pretty available to most people. And so if you look at this from a physiological standpoint, we're getting a lot of venous blood flow return to the heart, and from a physical standpoint, that you have all these baroreceptors and everything that say, hey, heart, we don't have to work as hard right now. So that triggers your nervous system response to say, oh, we can relax. So if you're able to come into this position with me for a few breaths, just notice what that starts to feel like. When the physics, when the biology are telling your brain that, hey, we're in a safe space, it's okay to relax and take a few deep breaths. And of course, if this doesn't feel good for any reason, you can come back into seated in the chair anytime. But we're just gonna stay here for maybe 5 or 10 more breaths. See if you can relax the muscles in your leg. You may find that your legs rotate out a little bit further. You may find that your pets love it when you get in the floor. There's actually studies out there about dogs and cats being attracted to this relaxation state. Let's just take a few more breaths here. And maybe you feel a little bit more of your body starting to touch the floor, starting to be in contact with the chair. Maybe just do a quick body scan. What do my toes feel like? My feet, ankles, legs, knees, hips. How does my back feel in this position? My shoulders, my arms and hands, my neck, the back of my head, my face. Just doing a slow body scan and seeing what it feels like to be in this relaxed sensation, this relaxed place. Let's take 2 more big deep breaths into the belly. Maybe your belly's rising and falling as you're taking these deep breaths. And since I got you down here, I'll get you slowly back up. If your legs are in the chair like mine are, you can slowly take them away from the chair, back down to the floor, roll gently onto your side. And then you can use your arms and hands to slowly press back up into all fours. And I always like to use the seat of the chair, it's there, so you can use that to help you slowly stand up. And we're gonna end just seated back in the chair. So what we just did is a traditional practice. It's called Viparita Karani, and it's done a lot of different ways, but I thought I'd show the easy way to do it because everybody's got a chair or something you can put your feet up on if you have a little bit of time. And it's a really nice restorative practice. It helps you relax and just really get into that body scan. Yeah. So let's take just a couple of breaths to sort of wind down our time today. So you're always welcome in these breathing practices to have your eyes open or to have your eyes closed. And sometimes looking down at the floor in front of you is very relaxing for your eyes as well. Just take a couple more breaths here, reflecting on our stop practice, which is just a great thing to have in your back pocket for any moment you feel stressed. We did a couple quick breath practices that are also really easily available to you anytime you want to connect to your body. And then we did our legs in the chair, legs up the wall practice. That's a really great restorative, relaxing practice. So just taking a moment to notice what it feels like to do a little bit of self-care. To get in touch with how we're feeling so we can be the very best version of ourselves. And then allowing just a little bit of gratitude to come for the ability to have this time and space. And if your eyes have been closed, slowly opening them and reorienting to your surroundings with a big smile and a renewed sense of joy and presence in this holiday season. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you in the future and bringing in lots of our great local providers. Namaste.